Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 19 of our first session of the year for 21 days. My name is Smita, and I've been here before, so hopefully I look familiar to some of you. I've been meditating my whole life, and it's really wonderful to be able to share that with you and be part of these amazing sessions with some really incredible meditation experts and musicians. So, a few reminders for our session today. The first one being about foot soak. I think we have some visuals here just to remind you for our foot soak today. Please have these things ready. So, you need your bucket or your dishpan with lukewarm water, a handful of salt, a towel, a rinse bucket, and maybe some paper towels. Um, I think we have a reminder about mentoring as well today. So, if you would like a mentor, if you would feel like you would benefit from speaking one-on-one with somebody about your experience, about any questions you have, or even meditating one-on-one with someone, you can use a link we have in the chat to request a mentor. And then yesterday, if you were here with us, our topic was meditation is a state of mental silence. And today we are going to be moving forward with this theme and focusing on going beyond the mind. So today we will have a lot of opportunities for silent meditation. I wanted to remind you all again that Sahaja Yoga is always free. We are all volunteers here sharing this experience with you, sharing our time, because it's something we're very passionate about. I would like to, on that note, introduce the other presenters and musicians that we have in our session with us today. So I will just one at a time, maybe. I would like to introduce Victoria from New York. Would you like to introduce yourself
Hi,
briefly?
Smita. Hi. Yes, I live upstate in New York and I have just, as mentioned before, love following the sessions myself as a participant, as well as being lucky to get to share the hosting duties as well. And very excited about tonight's topic.
Great. We'll pop over to Shivani from Vancouver.
Hi everyone. My name is Shivani, as Smita just mentioned. I'm coming to you today from Vancouver, but I'm originally from Australia, and I have been practicing Sahaja Yoga all my life as well. And I'm very excited to be here and share some meditation with you all.
Thank you for being here with us. And last but not least, we have Sylvia over in Chicago.
Good evening, everyone. Happy to be here again on the 21 days program. I'm originally from Austria, also meditating for a very long time now, and I will play some music for you on the flute. And it's called Rag Madhuvanti. And I will just play some instrumental part without the tabla for you. Yeah, so help with the meditation to go really beyond the mind, be silent inside.
Wonderful. I'm looking forward to that. All right, I'm going to hand it off to Victoria for our next part of our session.
Thank you. So, I hope nobody was scared by the idea of longer periods of silence. In the beginning, when it's hard to, let's say, slow down the thoughts, it can be scary to sit in silence and just wait for it to be over because your mind just can't stop. But as we've been progressing through these sessions, and especially last night, beautiful session on just watching, pulling back and watching. So that's really one of the keys to going beyond our mind, is recognizing it as something, but not identifying with it. Because often we just get swept up in our thoughts, and they're very engaging, very exciting sometimes. So we just run right along with them, and then we realize, oh yeah, I just haven't, yeah, been myself. And that self is in our heart. It's our deepest essence. It's that eternal part of us. You can call it our spirit, our soul, our true self, capital S, all of those things. And again, this can be new. It's like we've just encountered this aspect of ourselves that maybe was hidden, or we just didn't explore or didn't know existed before. So it can all seem a little bit strange or abstract, but hopefully with some time and with some practice, that assurance and that comfort and that security in our spirit, in our self, because the mind can always take us anywhere, and it's not always a good place. So we can't really say we're secure and confident, trusting our mind all the time. So we have to have a connection with that part of ourselves that is also connected with the greater whole. And we can do that thanks to our energy within the Kundalini. Everything is built in perfectly designed to bring us into a state of peace. And where there's peace, then joy follows quickly after that. But without peace, it's kind of hard to feel the joy. And as well as that witness state where we can see the thoughts, not be bothered by them, and hopefully watch them slowly, watch the space between the thoughts get bigger and bigger. So that will be hopefully what we experience this evening. Again, it's really a balance between spontaneity and technique, because we can always say how to do something, but until you're actually experiencing it, it's not so meaningful. That said, with this spontaneous energy inside of us, we do have a few techniques which help us clear the path. It's like a fountain that's ready to, shower, but it might just have a little bit of mud, or it might be frozen, or it might have dried up a little bit. So if we can just clear those things in our subtle system, that will allow this energy to come up so much more strongly and bring us into that beautiful, deep state of silence. So with that said, let us start our foot soak. And I would just invite everyone at any time to bring the hand on the top of the head with the palm on that soft spot that we had as a child. And this is just, again, a little, if we see our attentions wandering here and there, or if there's a bit of silence and we start thinking again, just bring the hand there and peacefully watch. You can notice, are these thoughts from the present, from the future or the past? But just try not to engage. Just allow them to ebb and flow. All right. So before we put our feet in the water, we'll raise our Kundalini together, nice and slowly. And it's good to remember to tip our head a little bit back as we tie the knots above our head, because that really allows these upper chakras to open nicely. We'll do that a third time. With 3 knots, then we'll just gently fix our attention above the top of the head, and we'll do the balance and protection all the way over and back again 7 times. And it's good to remember that there are, a few hundred of us doing this together. Sometimes we might feel a little something here or there, a pressure or a little tingling, and not identify with it. It could be that everyone's feeling that, and something's working out in a bigger way. So having that witness perspective and just that relaxed feeling towards ourselves will help a lot. So we can, with our left hand open on the lap, we can just give some vibrations, as we call it, to the foot soak water. So we're making that circular motion with our right hand clockwise. Just to help charge that water and salt with even more capacity to clear our subtle system. And then we can take off our glasses if we're wearing them and place our feet in the water. And we can close our eyes. We'll take a few deep breaths. Let's place our right hand on the heart on the left side. Where we can let go of any misidentifications, whether they're of the moment or the year or the lifetime. We're just letting those layers be peeled away. I'm not my thoughts, not these emotions or this physical body. I am the pure spirit. We can bring our right hand back to our lap. And with our left hand, we're going to place it on the right side of the stomach, just at the bottom of the rib cage. As was mentioned, this is where our liver is located, and it's also the seat of our attention and the kind of factory for producing the cells that fuel our thoughts. So with our left hand here, we're soothing down any excess activity or heat that might be produced. And we can also ask our energy within to please clear our attention. Please give us a focused and steady attention. Please relax our attention. Please bring our attention into the present moment. And then we can put the left hand back on our lap. And with the right hand, starting at the level of our sacrum, and with our palm facing upward, we're just going to invite more strands of the Kundalini up our central channel. And as we do that, we can express our desire that any blocks or imbalances that obstruct the flow of our own Kundalini, please kindly be removed. Our desire counts for so much. The Kundalini really respects our desire. So if we express that desire that we would like to be in a state of meditation, we'd like to go beyond the mind. We just need that little help. And then a little massage on the top of the head, and we can lift the hand some inches above. And we'll bring the right hand back to our lap. Let's breathe in, hold it in, and then breathe out and hold it out. We can do a few cycles of that at our own pace. If we feel or are experiencing some thoughts or pressure in the forehead, we can place the right hand across the forehead and say from our hearts, I forgive everyone, I forgive myself. We can also say, not this, not this, not this thought. Then we'll place the right hand once again on the top of the head. Massage our scalp. And ask from our hearts to experience that deep silence. Then again, we raise our hand, bring our attention up, and bring our hand back to our lap. And now we'll keep that meditative mood, keep our attention above the top of the head, and we'll just rinse our feet and put the bucket aside for now. And we'll keep our hands open on our laps. And as we watch and listen to the talk of Shri Mataji from Los Angeles in, I believe, 1999.
So everything, the timing, everything has to be worked out according to the need of the spirit and not need of the gross. When that happens, you move smoothly and understandingly the whole pattern of the divine, how it works out. And that is how you understand the dynamism of time. Because you live in the present, not in the future or in the past. Actually, the past doesn't exist and future has not come. We don't know what future is. To come in the present, you have to be the spirit. And when you are in the spirit, then you realize that this present is the reality. The rest is a myth. When the Kundalini rises, she passes attention into an area, or she penetrates into an area where there is silence. Because a thought rises and falls off. Another thought rises and falls off. In between these two thoughts, this area exists of the present. Now, but if I say you stop at this point to be at this point, you cannot. Your mind is jumping either on the past or on the future. But the Kundalini is the only thing that stops at present moment, so that you don't consider the past and the future, but you enjoy the present, the complete dynamism of the present, and you are effective. You are dynamic. You can do 1,001 things which normally you cannot do. And you are surprised how it works out. The divine has its own plans, has its own understanding, and we cannot make the divine to work as we want. We have to accept whatever the divine does and manages, and then we see the miracles of the divine and we are surprised how efficient it is, how beautiful it is. Like a machine. We feel the efficiency of the divine, but above all, we feel the compassion, the love, the understanding of the divine. But first, we must rise up to that. And for that, one has to grow in the awareness of the Spirit. If we cannot develop the awareness of the Spirit, we lose that magnitude which we have to achieve. So, what is to be respected is the Spirit after realization, because it gives you the truth. To understand the truth, you have to be the Spirit. Otherwise, whatever you understand is falsehood, is not the truth. Because of your mental projection, you think that that is the truth, is not so. For example, now, if I am sitting on this chair, you won't know any time that I ever sat on this chair. But supposing there's a realized soul who comes round, immediately he will know that there was someone like me. For example, I say that Mozart was a realized soul. How do I know? He's dead now. Because you can feel it on vibrations that he was a realized soul. I say Abraham Lincoln was a realized soul. Not because the way he lived or what he did, that was just an expression or was the symptom of his greatness. But because when you think of him, you get cool breeze in your hand. Tremendously cool breeze, soothing, which crawls over you. Oh, that's Abraham Lincoln. We do not know where we spend our time, what people are important to us till we are the Spirit. We waste our time catering to something absolutely useless. And then suddenly we discover, oh God, what a waste of time. What a waste of energy. What a waste of money. This man was a cheat. He cheated me. This work was all falsehood. Why did I waste my time there? After realization, you become the absolute. There is no relative value. You do not judge anything relatively. You just know what is absolute. And once you know the absolute, you are cocksure about it. There's no wavering. Thus you become an extremely powerful person and you know the truth about everything. Now the truth is very simple, that you are the Spirit and you are not this body, you are not this mind, and you are not this ego or your conditioning, but you are the free spirit. That's the truth is. But it is not just a mental truth, but is actually so and has to be actualized. The third thing that happens to you, apart from your awareness becoming the truth, the complete knowledge, you become the source of joy. Not that you only receive the joy, but you become the source of joy, the source of bliss, and the source of peace.
Let us keep our focus on top of the head and absorb what Shri Mataji said for a minute. While we listen to the music, we can also keep our eyes closed and continue to focus on top of the head.
after listening to the beautiful Bansuri music, we can keep our attention above the top of our heads. And we'll have a go at just sitting in complete silence, trying to maintain a state of thoughtless awareness. If any thought comes to your mind, just say, I forgive. I forgive this thought, and let it pass. If you're still struggling with staying silent, in your heart you can just affirm, I am not this body or this mind, not this ego or these conditionings. I am nothing but the pure spirit. And we can slowly open our eyes whenever we feel ready. We can just take our hand up to the top of our head. We can just press down and massage our scalp in a clockwise direction a few times. And then raising our hand a few inches above the top of our heads, we can just observe and see if we can feel the cool breeze of our Kundalini on our hands, coming out of the top of our heads. We can check with the other hand as well. And hopefully everybody felt a nice cool breeze. So to conclude the meditation portion of today's session, we can raise our Kundalini and take a bandhan like we did at the beginning. So left hand in front of us, wrapping the right hand around the left hand, going up and tying a knot, top of our heads. And we'll do that 3 times. Three knots in the last one. And then we'll give ourselves a bandhan. Up on the left, down on the right, and back 7 times. And with that, I will hand us back to Smita.
Thank you for that beautiful meditation. So we'll pull up the slideshow here in a moment and just go over a few announcements before we get to our chat with all of our guests and some questions we're going to go over. So just so everyone is really clear about the schedule for the course, Let's Meditate for 21 Days ends this Friday. February 13th. And then there'll be a 2-week break. So then starting Monday, February 16th, There will be collective foot soaks and meditations. So this is like end your day in the silence of the spirit. And this is Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, the same time, 8:45 East Coast, and the same Zoom link you can use. And then finally, 21 days session 2, going deeper, starts Thursday, February 26th, and that goes through Tuesday, April 14th. And that's Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays for about 7 weeks. So please join us for the foot soaks and for the next session once we conclude this. Tomorrow we will be focusing on going deeper into that meditative state, prolonging that state of thoughtless awareness that we started today with our slightly longer meditations. Reminder once again about the mentor system. If you would like to request a mentor, please go into the chat and follow the link and the information. It's really a wonderful opportunity. We have so many volunteers who are really excited to connect with you and find out more about your experience. So you can transform this into a less impersonal Zoom experience and actually connect one-on-one with somebody. We also have a WhatsApp group. Please join if you would like spiritual messages, course reminders, things like that. That's also in the chat below. And then lastly, everything is on the website, all the recorded sessions, all handouts, everything. So please utilize that resource, refer to it when you have questions or you're looking for handouts. The handout for today is really wonderful because it puts all in one place, all the affirmations that we've been using up to this point. So for every center, there's an affirmation for the left, the right, and the center. Each affirmation for the different channels begins in a slightly different way. So all the left side ones, you have the affirmation of I am, and then whatever quality corresponds with that center. For the central channel, we have please make me, so expressing this wish, and then again, listing some qualities, having a short affirmation. And then finally, for the right side, you are the, and then fill in the blank. So there's some really wonderful affirmations there. Please utilize that. You can always, adapt them a little bit, make them your own, but it's a great place to start. Finally, about breakout rooms, if you would like to go into a breakout room and talk with an instructor or a mentor, please follow this image, this instruction. So you can click the plus button in the chat and select breakout room help, and you can go into that at any point. And then again, for questions, same thing. You can follow the instructions here. You can do the plus button in the chat and select the chat Q&A and send the questions to that person. They're collecting all those questions and we can answer those for you. All right, we're not concluding just yet. So we have our presenters here. We have 3 wonderful presenters. So we have some questions that we would love to have a little discussion chat about and hear what their experience is with meditation. So the first question for all of you is, what does it mean to go beyond the mind? What does that mean to you? And how is that actually possible? Shivani, do you want to start us off here?
Sure. Okay. So going beyond the mind, it mainly has to do with recognizing the thoughts that are coming to us, that are occurring to us, are either of the future or a mental projection of the future, or there's something that we might have experienced in the past, and so none of those thoughts that we have are actually reality. And going beyond the mind is recognizing what that reality is, and that it's actually the gaps between the thoughts. And so once you're able to kind of get a hold of those small little gaps between each thought, and really just keep your attention above your sastra and really enjoy that moment of silence, that's going beyond the mind. So there's also the Agya chakra, which is the sixth chakra. I think we touched on a couple of days ago in the sessions, and it basically, this is where our ego and our superego or our conditionings are. And typically when we're having racing thoughts and we can't calm our mind and go into that thoughtless state, it's typically because of those two things, the ego and the superego, and this identification with everything worldly or outside ourselves, which is not true, is the ego. And often we have thoughts of, any reactions, like for the most part, any reactions that we have to anything that happens throughout our day, and then it's just kind of weighing on our attention. That typically is a sign that like there's a bit of work that needs to be done to clear out the right agya or the ego from within us. And then the left agya, which is the superego and the conditionings, typically is all of the weight and the thoughts that arise from conditionings that we have in any upbringing or any thumbprint of society or any expectations or any ideals that we have that might not actually be serving us. That's where thoughts can come in as well. And so going beyond those two actually becomes very easy when you use the technique of trying to elongate those gaps of silence between each thought. So hopefully that's kind of helpful. It was a bit of a ramble, but I'll let maybe Victoria or Sylvia add on.
Yeah, you said the word like identify as well, and I think that's such a big one for a lot of us. We really identify with our thoughts. And I think it was so liberating to me when I realized like your mind is a myth and not everything it produces is reality. And then you can like allow yourself to be like, actually, my thoughts are not, that's not how my identification, whatever happens in my mind. Victoria, did you want to add something else?
Oh, I think you both said it very, very beautifully. Yeah.
Okay. Sylvia, did you want to add anything from your experience?
Yeah, just 3 days ago, for me, going beyond the mind is always I'm turning to nature. Now that slowly weather becomes more awakened, I just hang a bird feeder outside in the kitchen window, and the birds start coming to take food. So just watching the birds, maybe initially I have thoughts, oh, what's the name of the bird? Oh, this bird is beautiful, right? Thoughts are entering the mind. But after a minute, I just watch. So I really can just observe them because we have seen snow for the last 3 months. Now we just see some living animals outside. So that is just so much joy giving. So when we reach that point that there's no thought, it creates joy in the heart. So it directly connects to our emotions. And it's also that, that you just feel completely like as if you have lost 100 pounds in a moment. It is just very liberating to feel that state beyond the mind. And
Yeah, that actually brings up that it can happen in unexpected places or moments. It's like we think, with all my hard work and meditation, I shall go beyond the mind. And then you're somewhere and all of a sudden you realize you're beyond the mind. And so just watching, being, ready for those moments to happen and enjoying them all the more.
yeah,
Yeah, that's such a great reminder. Meditation can happen anywhere at any time when you're just open to it.
Yeah.
And those
Sorry.
moments where you feel joy, that's also knowing that you're connected. Shivani, did you want to say something?
Sorry, I was sorry. I started to interrupt you there. One thing that Sylvia said that actually reminded me of a method that you can use to go beyond the mind. So we've spoken on like what that is and how that can feel. But one excellent way that Sylvia brought up was being in nature, because oftentimes our liver, as we know, is the seat of the attention. And when that's just bombarded with just too much work, it can become very hard to kind of get into that thoughtless awareness state because the attention is just like bar of soap. It's really hard to get a hold of. So going out in nature can really help cool down the right side, and especially the liver. And if you have a chance to meditate sitting on the ground, I know it's winter, but if you're able to do that, then that will really help to like cool that liver down, and it could be very beneficial to get that state.
That's a great suggestion. Yeah, maybe harder in the snow. I can't have to get creative, but all right. So going into our next question, it's a little bit more open-ended, but just kind of ties into what we were talking about, but some tips and experiences for getting into thoughtless awareness. And I know we sort of mentioned nature, um, and like those, again, those spontaneous moments where the silence comes to you. But any other tips or experiences you have for getting into that state? Sylvia, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, when I have a lot of thoughts after balancing my left and right side, after taking foot soak, I'm still not settling down. I massage on top of the head and just say, okay, thank you for my realization. Thank you for giving me this beautiful awareness and just bringing all my attention higher, that I really remind myself I want to focus on top of the head. And then within a few moments, I start feeling the breeze coming out of my head, and like a cool breeze. And that itself, I have to be still to feel it. So if I move too much, right, I move around, I will not be able to feel it. So going beyond the mind, reaching that state, which we call meditation, is when we are completely like freeze, that game where, okay, freeze, you stop for a few seconds and then you move again. This is how it feels for me, the meditation, that for me there's literally like a pull, almost like a inner physical sensation, which pulls me up. And then a thought comes, oh, I don't think. But it is such a tangible experience that you always go back, oh, I want to feel it again. And over time, as Shivani mentioned, the time increases, you can reach that state. And then when you settle down, you never want to come out of it. So initially, it is really a fight with the thoughts, because we are so used and the thoughts don't want to leave us, right?
And I guess not fighting is also a technique. Like they're just our most loyal frenemies, aren't they? So just watching and having patience, because I would say, as someone who didn't feel the cool breeze for at least 9 months after getting my realization, and so often we say we're all feeling that nice breeze, and I was like, and me, So I'd say like have patience, and it can manifest in other ways. Like if you do have the silence inside or the joy, the little spark of joy in your heart, then that means it's working too. It's not that it's not working if we don't feel the cool breeze. So we just say hang
Yeah,
in
it
there. And
is
one
just
little
yeah.
tip that someone shared with me is when you catch yourself having a thought, especially when you're sitting for meditation, just breathe in. It's very hard to actually continue thinking when you're inhaling and exhaling. So give that a try. Not like, fixating on it, but it can be very helpful. Breathing, because it nourishes our heart, right? So breathing is always super helpful to relax up there.
Yeah. Shivani, anything to add from your experiences?
Yeah. So one thing that you can do, which is a little bit counterintuitive, as you'll see as as I explain it, but the attention is very powerful. So it's the most priceless thing that we have and we own, and it's that pure attention from the spirit. And when you have a thought, what you can do is you can just put your attention on the thought in a witness state. So you don't identify with the thought, you don't get too lost in it, you just witness it purely. And it starts to become funny, because when you see these thoughts, you're like, this is ridiculous, this is nonsense. Like either it's something silly that I'm just like wallowing about, or it's something silly that doesn't exist because it's in the future. And honestly, that's a trick that I use a lot, because it's kind of funny just to put your attention on your thoughts and realize how ridiculous they are, and then they kind of just melt away automatically. And another trick that I use is I just take all the ego and the superego and I just surrender it. So I just say, Mother Kundalini, I'm not this ego, I'm not these conditionings. I surrender this to you. And usually that just, it kind of melts away, and it's almost like a physical feeling that I feel the pressure just come down. So those are two things that I do often when I'm struggling to go into silence. And then another practical physical thing is to put an ice pack on the liver, because sometimes it's just a case of the liver being overburdened. Yeah. So those are a couple tips.
And I think what you were saying actually connects so much to what Sylvia was saying too, about using your attention and putting your attention on something positive and something beautiful. And sometimes that's enough to silence ourselves. So Sylvia, you're talking about thinking about like, what am I thankful for? Like thankful that I can meditate, that I have this space, like all the things in my life I'm thankful for, and all these qualities that I'm thankful I have, even if I don't quite have them yet, I'm developing them, and I'm thankful that they're there, and using our attention in a positive way. And again, not like punishing ourselves, like, oh, I'm thinking I'm not succeeding in my meditation, and turning it negative. Sometimes that positivity allows us to, manifest it actually. All right. Well, our last question actually related to everything we said, which was just about if people are struggling with really thinking a lot. I believe we answered it. I don't know if anyone would want to add anything else if someone's really struggling to stop their thinking. And I can hear the frustration in the question too, because it was like, will I ever be able to do it? And I think, Victoria, you said, be patient is step one. Like, just be patient with yourself. Sometimes these things take a while. Sylvia, were you going to add?
It is that negative mindset, or sometimes that negative nagging in our mind and creating doubts. Will I be able to be thoughtless? How can I be thoughtless? Right? It keeps going. So we just have to let go of the doubts, that let me at least try it, That's why I said sometimes I fight with my thoughts in a positive way to, okay, be quiet now. I don't need you. Like, be strict with yourself, that Kundalini, we always say, is a motherly energy within us and is nourishing us. But then our spirit, we are connected, we can be a little strict initially and put effort to stop the thoughts. So talking to ourselves in a way like the mother would talk to the children. Okay, you stop now, enough. Give it a rest. And what happens, you catch yourself doubting. Initially, you're not aware that you're doubting, maybe. You have the questions, how will I do it? How can I do it? You explain it, it's like this. But then as we continue to meditate, something shifts in our awareness, and you get to oh, I doubt myself. No, I shouldn't do that. And then in that moment, you let it go already. So that shift in awareness automatically happens. It's not something, okay, this is class 1, class 2, class 3. Yes, we are doing a progression in the 21 days, but everybody has their own journey and their own time. Some might feel it on the first day, some might feel it on the 21st day. But that's patience, what Victoria said, comes in. And main thing, just allow yourself to watch yourself. And with confidence, right? That is nothing to be fearful about. You have a beautiful spirit inside, and everybody has the beautiful spirit inside. And just, love yourself.
Yeah.
Well, I think oh yeah,
just
Shivani.
one more thing to add. Yeah. Don't be hard on yourself if you're having a hard time going thoughtless. None of us here on this call have 100% perfect meditations all of the time. Also, all of the mentors, we've all experienced having moments of just you feel out of balance, you're thinking too much, and it feels tough. But it takes practice. Like anything, it takes 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the evening, and then slowly you'll get it. You'll get it, and then once you finally have that thoughtless awareness, even if it's for a minute, 30 seconds even, it's like riding a bike. You're a bit wobbly in the beginning, but then once you know how to ride the bike, you're never going to forget it. So you just have to maintain that small doses every single day, and it'll just get easier and easier. That being said, we all have hard days, and sometimes we're out of balance and we have to work on ourselves, which is why we have the treatments. And before each meditation, we do the foot soaks, because that's really, it's a very handy tool to have to be able to balance ourselves before we then attempt to go into silence. And don't worry about it. Don't stress. You'll get it. Don't worry.
Well, I think that's a great place to pause for this evening. A good note of positivity that hopefully everyone will take with them. Just a reminder, the session will stay open if you would like to stay and continue meditating. There'll be some music, and also the breakout rooms are there if you would like to use those. Thank you so much to our musicians and our presenters and our instructors who were here today. So thank you very much to all of you. And I hope everyone has a beautiful rest of their evening and have a good night.